The diner was almost empty when Sarah noticed the woman sitting alone in the corner booth. It was past midnight. The hour when the city slowed down and the lonely places revealed themselves. Neon lights flickered outside the window, buzzing softly, while the smell of coffee and fried food hung heavy in the air. Sarah had been working double shifts for weeks. Tips were bad. Rent was late. Every muscle in her body ached as she wiped down the counter, counting the minutes until closing. That's when she saw her. The woman looked out of place. She wasn't homeless. Her clothes were clean, simple, and neatly pressed. Her hair was brushed, her posture straight, but her hands trembled slightly as she held her coffee cup, and her eyes stared into nothing. She hadn't touched her food. Sarah hesitated. Diners attracted all kinds of people: night workers, lost souls, people running from something. Usually, Sarah minded her business. But something about the woman's stillness felt wrong. Too quiet. Sarah walked over with the coffee pot. "Refill?" she asked. The woman looked up, startled, as if she'd forgotten other people existed. "The OHS. Thank you." Her voice was soft, controlled. The kind of voice that had learned not to ask for much. Sarah poured the coffee. "You okay, hun?" The woman smiled politely. "I will be." That answer didn't sit right. Sarah nodded and stepped away, but she kept watching from behind the counter. The woman took a sip of coffee, then set the cup down carefully, aligning it with the edge of the table. Everything she did was precise, deliberate, like she was finishing something. Minutes passed, then more. Finally, Sarah made a decision. She walked back over and slid into the booth across from her. Something she wasn't technically allowed to do. "Kitchen's about to close," Sarah said. "You want anything else?" The woman hesitated. "No, I don't think so." Sarah studied her face. Up close, she could see the exhaustion hiding beneath the calm. Dark circles, tight jaw, a sadness that didn't spill over, it stayed locked inside. "My name's Sarah," she said. After a pause, the woman replied, "Emily." They sat in silence, the hum of the diner filling the space between them. "You don't have to answer this," Sarah said gently, "but, is someone coming to get you?" Emily shook her head. "No." Another pause. "Do you have somewhere to go?" Emily looked down at her hands. "Not tonight." Sarah's chest tightened. She had seen this before. Not exactly like this, but close enough. People who sat too long. People who ordered nothing. People who looked like they were waiting for permission to disappear. Sarah reached into her apron and pulled out a small slip of paper. She wrote something quickly and slid it across the table. "If you need a ride," she said, "I get off in 20 minutes. I can take you wherever you need." Emily stared at the paper without touching it. "That's kind," she said, "but you don't have to do that." "I know," Sarah replied. "I want to." Emily finally met her eyes. Something cracked there just slightly. "Why?" Emily asked. Sarah shrugged. "Because no one should be alone this late." Emily swallowed hard. When closing time came, Sarah grabbed her jacket and walked Emily out to the parking lot. The air was cold, biting. The street was nearly empty. They got into Sarah's old car. The engine rattled as it started. "Where to?" Sarah asked. Emily took a breath. "There's a bridge near the river," she said quietly. "You can drop me off there." Sarah froze. The words hung in the air like a warning siren. "That bridge?" Sarah asked carefully. Emily nodded. Sarah started the car anyway. They drove in silence. Streetlights flashing past like ticking seconds. Sarah's heart pounded harder with every mile. As they approached the river. Sarah pulled over abruptly. "I can't drop you there," she said. Emily looked at her calmly. "It's okay. You've done enough." "No," Sarah said, her voice shaking. "I haven't." Emily exhaled slowly. I didn't come to the diner by accident. Asterisk, Sarah turned to face her. Then let me help you. Asterisk, Emily smiled sadly. You already did. Tonight was the first time someone noticed me in weeks. Asterisk, tears filled Sarah's eyes. That's not enough. Emily reached into her purse and pulled out an envelope. Then take this, she said. Please. Sarah took it with trembling hands. What is it? She asked. Asterisk, a letter, Emily said. For my sister. Asterisk, Sarah shook her head. No, you can give it to her yourself. Asterisk, Emily looked out at the dark river ahead. She won't want to hear it from me. Sarah's chest felt like it was caving in. She did the only thing she could think of. Asterisk, she turned the car around. Asterisk, I'm taking you to the hospital, Sarah said. You can hate me later. Emily didn't protest. At the emergency entrance, Emily finally broke down. Years of silence spilled out in sobs that shook her entire body. Asterisk, doctors came. Nurses took over. Asterisk, Sarah sat in the waiting room until morning. Exhausted, terrified, unsure if she'd done the right thing. Asterisk, hours later, a doctor approached her. Asterisk, are you family? He asked. Asterisk, no, Sarah replied. I'm just the waitress. Asterisk, the doctor smiled gently. Then you should know you saved her life. Sarah's knees nearly gave out. Weeks passed. Asterisk, Sarah returned to her routine, but something had changed. She paid closer attention to people. She spoke more. She smiled more. Asterisk, one evening, a familiar face walked into the diner. Emily, she looked different. Lighter, alive. Asterisk. She slid into the booth and smiled. I wanted to say thank you, Emily said. Sarah laughed through tears. You don't owe me anything. Asterisk, Emily shook her head. You were the last stop before the end. Sarah realized something then. Kindness doesn't always feel heroic. Asterisk. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable, awkward, risky. But sometimes, it's the only thing standing between someone and goodbye.